The Island Batik Ambassador Challenge for May is to use our Deb Tucker tool. Each ambassador was sent one, and mine was the 4-patch tool. So with this tool, you can make just a ton of different sizes. And the size goes all the way down to 1/2 inch to 1 inch and all the way up to the 6-inch finish. So, I mean, there's a lot of different squares that you can do here. So this is the tool that was assigned to me. And then the fabric that I was sent was this Let It Snow by Cappy Angle. Oh, how beautiful is this fabric? I'm so excited to use this. And I'm glad that the challenge is in May. So, I mean, if you want to order Let It Snow and work on it, it'll be done by the time it's time for winter quilts. And I'm so happy that this is my fabric that I got sent. And I found a block that I want to make, because in the requirements we have to do 2 sizes with the tool. So I found, hold up, pause, let me just interject myself again here, because the design that I picked to do this project ended up working really well for a design call for a magazine. So I figured I was going to submit that, hear back from them, and if it was rejected, go ahead and move forward on using it for this project. I have not heard back from them, and my blog post is due May 3rd, so I really need to hustle. So instead, I'm just having a lot of fun with this ruler, and I'm happy with how this is turning out, because like, I'm just having so much freedom. There's 12 different sizes on this ruler, and you can do everything from like 1 inch to 6.5. And so I'm just cutting up all these different 4 patches and putting them into different combinations. So I've got a few fat quarters left. I'm just taking every single one and cutting it in different widths and putting it together. So I'll do a couple more, and then I'll show you what quilt I put together. So here's all my cuts. I did a bunch of these 2.5 inch strips. I've got some 6.5 inch squares, 4.5 inch squares, 3.5 inch squares. And here's my mission, is to make 12 inch finished blocks. And with those sizes, I can just combine them in different ways and make my block. And it's gonna look scrappy and super cute. So I'm gonna start over with just joining together some strips and get them subcut with my new ruler. Usually with 4 patches, I like to press my seams open to reduce bulk, but this one has specific instructions to press to one side. So I'm going to follow that and flip this so I can press to the darker fabric. And get that just pressed down. And then once I get all my strips sewn, I'll be able to subcut these. I've got this little 4-patch done, and this is where this tool shines. So I've got my little square, and I press these to the dark, and what I do is I open up the seam. Woo! And then I press these down, and I've got this little bonus 4-patch. That's so cute, and it's gonna lay flat. I mean, that's the point, that it lays flat, but it's also a super cute seam. And this was at the end of my strip set. And what I love about this tool, I found, is that, so this is not a 2.5 inch to make a 4.5 inch square. So I can take this, and these points are my intersect, and I can see where this fits. So I can make a 3 inch finished 4 patch. You can see I don't fit in this 4-inch finished. I can fit in 3-inch finish and then trim on these other sides. So you see where that says 3? And I can fit the 3 there. I can try the other side. I've got a 3.5-inch finished, and I'm not going to make it. This one sticks out the side. So I can take this scrappy piece, put it on that 3-inch intersection trim, and then I've got a perfect 4-patch block. So that's where I'm really enjoying this, is that when I get down to these end pieces, I can make new squares. And doing the math for 3-inch finish 4-patch, I don't know that off the top of my head, and I don't have to worry about it because I have this now. It'll be 3.5, and I can pair that with another 3.5-inch block. That's easy enough. And I'm just going to I'm going to wrap this up and then show you all the different squares that I make, because it's a lot. I've got all my blocks laid out here, and I want to show you all the different arrangements that I came up with. So this is the main one that I did. So we've got these 3-inch blocks to make a 4-patch, and that's its own unit. And then I went ahead and did these 2-inch squares, 16 of them makes up that. Let's see, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So that's a 12-inch block. I also have just one big 4-patch. So these are 6-inch blocks that came together. And then this is the other main block. Get out of the sun. So I did these 4-inch squares, and then the 2-inch. So that made up a 12-inch block too. And that is everything. I just laid them out and tried to do a color balance. These are the darkest pieces, so I tried to disperse them. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4 across, 5 down. So 20 fat quarters to make 20 blocks, but I have some spare left over for scrappy binding. Sorry the sun is on that one piece, but that is my quilt. It's beautiful and scrappy. To finish up this quilting, I'm using the sway ruler from Natalia Bonner, and I'm not using it correctly. I learned that one side of the ruler is specifically for drawing, and the other side is the 3-inch that would be a semicircle that finishes at 3 inches. So when I went down the whole quilt with that ruler, I had uneven curves, so then I just went back and filled in between those curves on a loose spiral pattern, which worked out really well. I think it's nice and flowy. It matches against the contrast of the quilt that stays in the snowy pattern. I love the scrappiness. I did a scrappy binding all the way around the border with some extra fabric, and then the backing is some spare Island Batik navy fabrics and some extra fat quarters. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Bye!